Good morning, Year 3. I hope you're all well this morning. Yesterday in our multiplication lesson, we looked at how to create an array to help solve two-digit number problems. We looked at how sometimes we may need to exchange between columns when solving a number problem. An example would have been 2 times 16. In this case, we'd label and partition. We would then create our multiplication array, our tens and our ones, 2 multiplied by 10 and 6. So this is our partition number. And then we begin to solve. 2 times 10, and then 2 rows of 6. This, of course, being the ones column, so the value of all of these counters would be 1. We then started to solve. We started in the ones column, and when we counted up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, we discovered that there was too many ones for the ones column. So we then exchanged over 10 ones. So we would count up our 10 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We circled them, and we exchanged those 10 over. We go back and double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, just to make sure we didn't make a mistake. We would then begin to solve. I have 2 ones. I have 10, 20, 30 in the tens. And then we solved either using mental maths or the expanded column method. 30 plus 2 is 32. And you could write the answer up here as well. Today we're going to look at the next step. If we look at the number problem 2 multiplied by 16 equals 32, when we created our arrays, we discovered that we need to exchange once. However, you may be asked for a problem such as 4 times 16. I want you to pause the video now and have a think about why you think this problem might be slightly more complicated than the first one when we had to multiply 2 times 16. When solving a problem such as 4 times 16, you will still need to exchange, but instead of just exchanging one 10, you may find you need to exchange more than one 10. So in this case, once again, just as we did before, we label and partition the number, and then we start to create our arrays. Our tens and our ones. Then we write out our number problem, 4 multiplied by 10 and 4 multiplied by 6. Then we start to solve. So in this case, 4 multiplied by 10, 10, 20, 30, 40. Remember, you can label, but if you are confident you don't need to. Then it's 4 multiplied by 6. So we have our 4 rows and our 6 columns. First column, second, third, fourth, fifth, and final 6th column. We now look at this one and we know straight away there's definitely going to be far too many ones in this column, and we know straight away we are going to have to exchange. Remember, the value of each of these counters is 1. So we then count up our 10 counters to exchange over. So in this case, I'm going to count the cross. So 1, I might even make a mark so I know which ones are definitely need to be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to circle those 10. And I'm going to draw my arrow and exchange over my 10. However, looking at this, I might decide actually perhaps I need to exchange another 10. So once again, I will go through and I will count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yes, I was correct. I do need to exchange over another 10. So once again, I draw another arrow. For my second 10, I need to exchange over. I can then count up what's left. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know I do not need to exchange over anymore because I've got 4 left. I can go back, and it's always a good idea to double check that I've counted the right amount. So I would double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's my first group. My second one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've double checked that I've exchanged over the correct amount. I know I have 4 left in the ones column. I can now work out the total in the tens column, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I can then solve either using column addition or mental maths. In this case, I'm going to use mental maths. 60 plus 4 is 64. And I can write the answer here as well, 64. So, as we discussed in this problem, you ended up having to exchange more than once. You must be very careful when exchanging. It's very important, once again, that your presentation is perfect. Make sure you draw your lines using a ruler. Give yourself lots of space, in particular in the ones column, because that is where the larger number will be and where you have to draw your counters. And if you don't give yourself enough space, when you try and count your counters, you might make a mistake. Always go back and double check. Draw your arrows, highlight the ones that you've exchanged, and then solve the problem. Once again, I'm happy for you to use mental maths or column addition if you need. For today's lesson, I would like you to solve the problems that are below the video. And then once you've solved that, I have a challenge question for you. And there is a written answer to go with this so that you can explain to me how this problem is different to previous problems. Best of luck. See you later.